Hello, Linda.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm good. You changed out of your bathing suit.
I know. Thank you for getting my true likeness. Your accuracy was just undescribable. It's like somebody finally got the true accuracy.
You know, I don't understand it. You should be, well, we won't go there. And for those who
when I
haven't
was
been to-
young, and I look at myself and I think, damn, but I was always so embarrassed about my body, even though I had a knockout body. You didn't see me running around in a bikini ever. I didn't even like wearing shorts, but it was this thing in my head, a lot of girls go through that.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people go through that. And, I was doing some readings about that on my Sunday. And it's all about, we don't step into our power. We're always cutting ourselves down. There's always something that I'm too stupid, I'm too short, I have my hair's too good, all that stuff.
And if we got hit when we were younger, like my dad was extremely fat phobic. And he used to say, no guy will like you. If you saw my pictures then, I don't know what the hell he was talking about.
Right.
I was thick. I had bada bing, I was curvy, but I wasn't fat.
Yeah.
I used to walk.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell. I could pick up furniture. I could pick up a couch by myself. I was strong.
It's just people trying to, keep us down no matter what. No matter.
Like Trump calling Chris Christie a fatso.
Well, that's not right.
Well, Christie said, has he looked in the mirror lately?
And Christie, not that I like what he stands for at all, but
no.
Thank you, Chris Christie, for standing up and saying something.
He'll tear into Satan too. But listen, he's not going to win. He is not going to win.
No. Well, I don't. Satan's not going to. DeSantis is not going to win. Trump isn't going to win. He may be. I don't see him.
Even running.
I don't know. It feels like, and it can go both ways because things change. But I just don't see how he can keep this negative energy bubble around him without something happening to him.
He just keeps going on, and that's affecting his health.
It's got to be.
He doesn't know how to be peaceful for a minute.
No.
And it's always about him. Never talks about what he can do for us down the road. It's always about him. He doesn't even acknowledge the assurances he gave us when he won the last time.
Right.
Where's that health care?
It's coming. It's going to be the best. It's going to be.
Well, the key too is he told all those January 6 people, don't worry, I'll pardon you.
Oh yeah.
And he left office without pardoning them.
Yeah.
So what? They're going to believe him again? This is why you're not getting the gangs of people coming out.
Right.
Because we're a nation of cameras now, and the FBI isn't going to mess. That's why they wanted to fund the FBI, because the FBI is not going to mess.
Right.
Not that the FBI has a clean slate, but
well, none of us do. None of us. So
well, speak for yourself.
Well, I can't speak for you.
No.
Oh, dang.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, good. Let me talk about Linda. Enough about you. Let me talk about you.
Enough about me. What do you think of me?
So, oh my gosh. Yeah. So
I have a couple of announcements.
Oh, yes.
I want to tell everybody, Andre was supposed to be on the show yesterday for Mel, and I got an email from him that it looks like his mom may have suffered a stroke.
Oof.
So send out prayers for Andre, everybody. Our Deanne, the one that I did a video with yesterday, blonde one, she's so cute.
She's so fun. Yeah.
She's only 11 people away from being at 3,000 followers.
Woo!
So anybody that has an opening, please go over there and follow her so she can give
I'll
away
put
her 3
I'll put
free
her-
readings.
I'll put her link down below.
Oh,
the
thank
video.
you. Thank you. And Mel wrote me this morning. Now, wasn't that weird? Those of you who weren't there, we did that meditation.
Yes.
And I started looking at Mel and I'm doing the prayer, and in walks Johnny Cash, as clear as day. And he says, tell that boy he's going to be just fine. Just kind of even irritated.
Yeah.
So I felt I wasn't even going to tell Mel, but I just blurted it out. I said, Mel, I don't know what this means to you, but Johnny Cash was standing right here. And he goes, oh my God, Johnny Cash is my favorite.
Yeah, I know.
And he just got done listening to him.
That was wild.
Wasn't that wild?
That was so good.
That was like an affirmation, you know,
Yeah.
like we got you. And Johnny said, hey, you're fine.
Yeah.
So
And-
that was cool. And then he also wants me to tell you guys, last night, he
Who's telling me? Johnny Cash or Mel?
Mel.
Okay, Mel.
he slept with no pain medication comfortably,
Woo!
and his swallowing's gotten better.
Awesome.
So thank you, you guys. The power of prayer, I tell you.
You know, and I got a couple of comments from that video, and some people all the way over from Australia said that healing message that at the very end, where we all did the healing and then JJ was doing her light language.
That JJ, who I've never met, was quite impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. And Taro Stoosh with
Yeah.
Bailey Flames. Yeah.
She was cool. Yeah.
But some people, more than one commenter had been saying how powerful that healing was, and it brought them to tears.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying I'm in tears.
Yeah.
That
So
was
powerful.
so beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, I like Gerard too with that beautiful fan. I want one of those fans. It was so cool. I was trying to look up the fan and I went on Amazon. I'm not finding what he had. I need to talk to him and ask for a link.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good. That was good. All right. So, and there's just so many people that need healing and in our community. Just way too many people to mention, but you know, when we get time to take a quiet moment and look at the beauty of nature and find joy in something, send that out to
But
everyone.
you remember, I do every other Tuesday, I do prayers in here.
Yes. Yeah.
And a whole group of us get together.
Oh yeah.
I've had miraculous.
Miraculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really, I mean, it's miraculous.
Yeah.
You know what we can do. So anyway, that was awesome. And I'm so glad to hear about Mel.
Isn't that wonderful news?
That's so good. Yeah.
He was just so grateful to everyone. He just said, oh my God, Linda. You
We
know,
made him cry.
he's such a sweetie. He really is. And you know, this whole thing took him back, I think.
Ooh, yeah.
But
Well, and that's why Johnny Cash came out.
Johnny Cash, and you know, I had told him, Sterling had told him, dude, you're gonna be fine. And he was making me scared, you know, with the big lump and all this. And I was like, well, I just keep seeing you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, he's okay.
So he doesn't. So let me see if I have this right. He doesn't listen to you, but he'll listen to Johnny Cash.
He'll listen to Johnny Cash, yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm gonna have to have a talk with him.
He's ADHD, so he gets phobic. He gets where he keeps going in circles.
Well, these last 6 years, how can you not get phobic?
I know.
Yeah, but you know, we're moving into a way better place. I think it's going to be a little while.
Yes.
You know, we're not done yet. So
It's unfortunate, but yeah, you guys are shifting because we can't work together as a nation if people are so torn apart.
Right. Right. And we are going to come together, but not quite yet. We still have some work to do.
We still
So
got some work to do.
we need to stay positive. We need to stay focused. And there it is. Well, let's get to some questions.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right. So thank you all for sending questions in. I got these off to the community page. As I said, most people were just laughing at the picture that I set up. And I don't know why they were laughing. I thought we looked great. You know, and
I
that's our
did too.
true selves.
It was funny when I saw it. I laughed out loud.
All right. So, and we talked a little bit about this before. So, what is going on with the GOP, like destroying everything that was their platform years ago? They were for law enforcement. They were for the military. Now they're like throwing all this negative
And you and
stuff.
I briefed this a little bit. I want to know who they think is going to vote for them now. They're pissing
Yeah.
off the military.
Yeah.
And they're just, and women who want rights, which is 70 to 80% of this nation, wants the ability to choose for themselves.
Sure.
They're going to come out in droves. It's so weird because they're cutting the nose to spite their face.
I know.
This isn't a winning thing. Even Trump said out loud, I'm nervous about this abortion thing. I think you guys overdid it. You overplayed it,
Yeah.
which
How-
pissed off the evangelicals.
How much have they overplayed all of this? So now
Yeah.
they're saying, they said, we're going to give the military a 5% raise, but we're not going to let you go get health care for the women. And now take it to the guy's side, or for your wives or girlfriends, we're not going to let you have, we're going to stop them from having health care. So the guys don't like this either.
No,
It's like it's not a winning
it's
recipe
we're going
at
to
all.
stop. What did McCarthy say? We're going to stop the woke.
Oh geez.
I'm so sick of that word woke.
It
They're
used to
just
be.
cutting their nose to spite their face. I don't want people to get all in a huff over this, because this too shall pass.
Yes, it will.
But wait till the next, it's not going to be, I've said this before, and I was very surprised we lost a few in the Congress, but we're going to gain them back plus some,
I agree.
especially because of that Supreme Court. People want that Supreme Court dealt with.
Yeah. Even though, Mitch McConnell's kind of backing off and he goes, no, the Supreme Court isn't political. Look what he did to make it political, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, people are just tired of it. It's all Republican. It's all, yeah, that's going to be changing too. And we just need to take a breath, let it change.
Yeah, and try
It
not
will-
to go in the anger thing, because that'll mess you up. That'll put you in a state of resistance. But
Yeah.
just breathe and know this was all predestined. This thing they're doing to themselves was already in writing. Because what I told you guys back when I first started my show was that the Republican Party no more. There's a new Republican Party coming up
Yeah.
that will be a better Republican Party.
Yeah.
Just like the Democrats used to be jerks.
Yeah.
They were slave owners, and now they changed around. Well, you're going to see the Republicans change around too.
Yeah. Does that mean then the Democrats are going to be jerks in the future?
Well, if the Democrats, any one of them holding power for too long can be pretty ugly. But
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing is, the GOP doesn't want to lose power. So they're trying to change laws like, well, we can pick who we want. And even if you guys say this, well, you can't vote here and all this is going to crash and burn.
Oh yeah, it's got to. It just has to. Yeah. So and yeah, these people that are holding power for too long, that's going to change as well.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to stay in there forever.
They will do term limits.
Mhm.
And they're going to do term limits with the Senate too.
Oh, good.
No more of these 100-year-olds in there.
Oof. I don't mind 100-year-olds being advisors. I mean, I think
Yeah.
what Nancy Pelosi did was just, I mean, it was just so right when she retired from
Yeah.
the speakership. She stayed in, I'm sure she's like, she and Hakeem Jeffries are having coffee in
Oh,
their offices
Hakeem
all the
Jeffries, she's teaching him a lot.
yeah,
But Hakeem Jeffries is the one you want to watch.
I think so too. Yeah, yeah. All right. So let's see. So here's one from above the clouds, and this is still in politics newsland. So Fox is getting beat up with lawsuits and stuff, and she wants to know, will Newsmax and Onan suffer the same consequences as Fox? Is Newsmax, is that a big one? I don't watch
I don't
it.
know. I'm not sure, but when I heard the question, I heard yes.
Yeah,
But I'm feeling more towards the end of the year or next year.
yeah, right. I just think they're all going down. And what's really sad is there's a pillow company that he's selling all his equipment because
Oh, Mike Liddell,
yeah,
he put all that money into Trump and he's losing, you know, and we can't be gloating about it, you guys, because you're going to see people like Lindsey Graham, you're going to see Mike Liddell, you're going to see even Trump just fall. It's going to be, but it's as prophesized. We can't gloat in it. You just have to know that justice will be served. And also the guides are like, ye of little faith. Why did you keep questioning enough? Here's your sign. There you go. Take your sign and move on. It kept telling via Linda to be assured that this too shall pass. And these people are just barking. You know why? A lot of those people are involved in the January 6th.
yes.
So they're like, squirrel, squirrel. What about Hunter Biden? What about Hunter Biden? Because they got nothing else.
They got nothing. You're absolutely right. They're really afraid of what's coming out on January 6th. And it's like they're trying to create so much noise because they're so fearful of losing what they have, losing their power.
Right.
And it's just not the people in January 6th, it's others too that are afraid. They're just hanging on to everything.
Well, they're trying to defund the FBI, DOJ, and they had that hearing. And Ted Lieu was so fantastic. He said to Christopher Wray, by the way, I don't see Christopher Wray hanging in there another year. He might step down when Biden wins again. But, and I said, in fact, on Twitter, I say, oh, good. Yeah, get rid of Christopher Wray and let's get a Democrat in there. So, I mean, they'll eat their own, these Republicans.
Yeah.
So he said, well, so tell me something. When Roger Stone was convicted, who was the attorney general? Well, it was Bill Barr. And who put in Bill Barr? Well, Donald Trump. So that wasn't a two-tiered that wasn't a Democratic led. And he named off all these people, including Manafort, and it was a list. It just kept going. Of all these people who were, including the big guy that steals money saying it's for the wall, Bannon. All these people were all under Trump. And you're going to tell me it's a two-tiered program.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious. That's why we need to not, I wish the news media wouldn't even show Trump talking.
Oh, me too.
You need to disengage from nonsense.
Yeah.
But that, you know, he makes them look bad. Fortunately, we got these wonderful people, Goldman and Ted Lieu and all these people in there who just really just throws it at them.
Oh, yeah.
And they hate it.
Katie Porter, oh my God. She
owns them.
Jeopardy, DOD, Jeopardy. Oh my God. It was so funny.
And true.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And she makes them, she doesn't say anything. She makes them say it. She's brilliant. She is brilliant.
I wish she would win as the senator, but she won't this year, but she'll win something coming up.
She'll get something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not going away. she's kind of like a Stacey Abrams and Beto. They're so powerful. They're not going away.
And listen, they won their seats. I don't care what anybody says. You heard that guy, that Attorney General, which, by the way, nobody has heard a word from him since he announced that he withheld 2,500, not the actual ballots, but the application for the ballots.
Yeah.
He took them. He destroyed them. And so, hello, Beto only lost by 78,000. There's what happened.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can get lost in this. But
it's okay. The main thing, breathe. When you start overthinking it, breathe and know that this too shall pass, because down the road, people will say to all of us who have been telling them it's going to be okay. You know what? By God, it's just timing. It's just sometimes and know that this is supposed to happen, because an awakening is happening right now. Yeah.
We're becoming woke. The awakening is happening.
And did you see that Satan's wife got millions of dollars for that hurricane fund? Yeah. What did I say when he said, you guys should send the money to my wife, because rather than have to go through the Red Cross or anything, send it directly to her so we can get it right away. Guess who's holding on to the money? Guess who hasn't distributed? And guess who doesn't have to say where she distributed it? Her.
Yeah.
I told everybody, don't do it, but
to me, I look at those two people and I go, which one is more, which is the worst? And it's her. I mean, she creeps me out. It's like a Stepford wife. Yeah.
You know,
her and Jared.
The other good news yesterday was Biden announced he's got $74 million, mostly from small donors. He's got more than Trump in campaign money.
Wow.
So how can someone be so low in the polls but collect more money? So was Obama. Remember, Obama was low in the polls.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, beyond a reasonable doubt, I mean, God forbid I'm wrong, but my guides have assured me that Trump will not win again, that Biden will win. And also when Trump lost the first time, it was looking kind of iffy. And I remember feeling so nervous. And I even told my guys, why would you tell me he's going to lose? You know, it was kind of close for a minute.
Yeah.
And they said, shh, ye of little faith. So I had to shut up. I had to turn the TV off and go to bed and just pretend like all this was a bad thing. When I woke up, it still wasn't determined, but by the next day, it was determined.
Yeah. That's scary.
And people were dancing in the streets.
That's true. It's going to happen again in 2024. I see big things. I see us taking the House and the Senate and in the presidency. So
that's when all kinds of good news will happen. That's when we codify Roe versus Wade. Look what Biden just did. No, you can't do student loans. You can't. And he just did $84 million. A whole bunch of people got their loans forgiven. You know, they're biting at the dust, but oh well, too bad.
Yeah, I didn't read what he had done. I just saw a headline that the loans were forgiven, and I went,
he went through some sort of act. Something in the Education Act, and he just forgave all. I told everyone, and you probably did too.
Yeah, I did.
Listen, they're back at the drawing board, and they'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
And then when he's president again, they're going to work on education, making sure, because our numbers are low, our kids aren't very healthy in the school thanks to COVID, which was not really. Well, I blame Trump for why it got so bad, but it was a virus and this happens. But our children suffered the most.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So I see them working on that. I see them doing something with the Supreme Court. Biden is really stuck on he doesn't want to expand it, but he will end up with so much pressure he has to.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But I see the next person exiting stage left is Thomas.
Can can you put your foot and kick him out sooner?
It's something to do with his wife. And I've been saying this since the cows came home. I've
Right.
been saying this. I said, there's something, this is even before we knew about January 6th. There's
Yeah.
something with his wife. I see her like losing her mind, but he's not feeling very well either. He was looking at the calendar, him and Aliota both, and trying to think, okay, we can, because there's a lot of pressure on him now.
Yeah.
I'll exit when the new president is, hopefully it's Trump, but it's not going to be Trump, just like Putin is hoping it's Trump.
Right. I don't know. I'm not seeing Putin around. I don't personally, in all my readings, he's not around now. But
Yeah, okay.
other people say he is. And I'm just basing it off of the cards because I don't know. And I'm not, and again, like you say, I'm not wishing him harm. But I'm just wishing he'd exit stage left quickly.
Yeah, they're taking immigrants now. They just showed them marching immigrants and force them into the military. And you know what will happen when they go into the military? They'll escape and help Ukraine.
Yeah. So what's the deal? So today, the Wagner Group went into, brought military equipment into Belarus, and they're training with Belarus right now. I just read that today. So they don't know where the prig guy is. They haven't seen him. So some people are saying he's dead and whatever. But do you see Belarus, the Wagner Group going into Ukraine?
They could attempt it. Something's going to happen to Putin that pretty much ends all of it.
Yeah.
I don't see, I see, that guy was so pissed off that the Russian military hit his own people.
Yeah.
He was seeing blood. He went in there to destroy Putin, not Putin, but those generals.
Yeah.
And Putin was scared.
Yeah.
Putin was frightened. He acts like big man on campus. He was a little chicken.
Yeah.
So, and I told you, he can't hit the nuclear button because I see someone grabbing his hand.
Mm.
So it might even be the Wagner Group. Somebody or some military action will take place that would prevent Putin from doing anything stupid like that, because it's going to destroy them too.
Sure. They're almost already destroyed with, nobody's doing business with them. Nobody's going to help them out if Putin's there.
Right.
So it's.
And then Sweden, thanks to Turkey, he thought he could depend on Turkey. And it's like he can't depend on anybody. And he looks like the ugly one. He looks like the snake.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
Well,
Yeah.
he is a snake. He kills people. I remember that time some guy was
No,
running.
he doesn't. No, they just fall out of windows. Come on now.
Oh, listen, remember that guy that was running against him and he was a bit of fresh air and people were kind of looking forward. And the guy got shot on a bridge, walking down a walkway or something, shot and killed. And then Putin said, we will find out who did this. It was Putin.
Yeah.
It was Putin that had him assassinated.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
like he tried to kill Navalny.
Sure. Yeah. And Navalny's still alive, reportedly, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if Navalny goes, it's really going to cause an upset.
Mm.
There was too much attention to Navalny.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, that just, I can't, that guy.
It's so unbelievable what bleak hearts people can have.
Yeah.
Trump is like the most unusual specimen, even as bad, if not worse than Hitler. He just goes in circles. He just, And they said Hitler would get the newspapers and want to know what anybody was saying about him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, oh, did you see he asked that Fannie Willis be removed from the Georgia case?
Yeah.
I think he went to the Supreme Court, right?
You know, I read, it's so hard to keep track of what he says. I know he said it a while ago, and then it came back up into the news feed again that, you know, that he asked that, and that it's now cleared. Some hurdle has been cleared, and Fannie Willis is going after him stronger. So yeah, maybe, but Fannie Willis is now, I mean, it's so close, because remember she said, everybody, all the judges, clear your dockets, don't have any other cases, which sounds to me like they're going to be really busy. So it's just not with Trump, it's multiple people that are all going in there, because all these judges are sitting around going, well, what should we do? Well, you're going to do this case, this case, this case, this person, this person, this person. There's multiple.
Well, listen,
cases.
I love that. Beyond the girl, that first girl that talked, people were kind of mad at her, thought she shouldn't have talked. But the second group, the grand jury,
Yeah.
a bunch of them were Trumpers. And they said it was shocking. And that people will be very surprised
Yeah.
about Trump.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I did a reading, I think it was yesterday. And again, I get a woman, maybe it's funny, I don't know, but that brings them down. We all been getting, there's a woman that's a major player in bringing Trump down.
Now, years ago, when I read on that, it was somebody that broke his heart. I can't help but wonder if Ivanka.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it certainly wouldn't be Fannie Willis breaking his, well, it could be Fannie Willis breaking his heart, throwing him in jail. But there was some big news coming out, surprising, that out of the blue.
When did you get this? Yesterday?
Yesterday. But I always get that. There's always something surprising. I go, what can surprise me? Nothing's going to surprise me.
I know.
But if the MAGA people were surprised, then maybe it will surprise me.
Right, right.
Yeah. So, oh, all right.
He's just going in circles. I wouldn't want to be him, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get out of politics.
Okay.
I want to, I mean, you've been so right. So somebody is asking about Tony. He was saying Edgar Casey predicted some fairly disastrous results along with climate change and oceans rising. And he's saying, will his predictions come true? And you said yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
It's happening as we speak.
Right. But so my question is, because he related Edgar Casey to you coming on the show. And so I want to know, will you give me the winning numbers for the jackpot that's climbing to $640 million? Edgar Casey wouldn't do it because he'd get big headaches. But will you give me just me? No?
No, I can't do it. They don't let you do it. Edgar Casey found that out too.
Yeah, I know. He got real sick.
Yeah, and also he couldn't help people trying to dig for oil and stuff.
Right.
He thought he'd be able to help them, and it never, if he was wrong, it'd be about that.
Yeah. I thought that he had, and I know some people will add to this, but I thought that at one time he was giving stock advice and things, but it made him so sick.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do it. I don't even
have to stop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if I split it with you, will you give me the numbers?
Well, you know, the guy, it's just like when I read people, by the way, I don't do any more paid readings, but when I used
Oh, and how is that going?
It's
How's
going
your retirement
I
going? You
love it.
liking it?
I love it, but I'm still so busy. I have a list of about 6 to 8 people that want to collab with me.
Of course.
It takes up a
Yeah.
lot of my time. But anyway, so I had what we were talking about. What were we just talking about?
Edgar, you're talking about you're going to give me the winning numbers.
No.
No.
I had a client with, oh, now I just totally lost my thought.
Okay. There's something about how she wanted one of your clients, one of your readings wanted something, I don't know, money, job wise or something. I don't know.
No, I know.
Okay.
I know what I was going to say. A lot of the people I would read, family inheritances would
Oh,
get
yeah.
all messed up because the brother stole or this stole. And they would be all upset. My parents trusted him. Why did he do this to us? And when I looked at the parents, it wasn't the money part that upset them. It was what the person did to their soul. Isn't that a shame? He's messed up his soul.
Yeah.
Because over there, money means nothing.
Right. Right. All right.
So, I mean, it'd be nice to win it.
Yeah, I would. Come on, help me out. I'll share it.
Are you kidding? If I was that kind of psychic, I would be now under control with the CIA. If I could pick out lotto numbers, they would be putting me in a cell somewhere to keep me away from everybody.
Yeah. All right, let's look into the economy a little bit. Do you see anything? It's weird because we had a 9% inflation and people were freaking out. Do you know what the highest inflation rate is in the world
What?
now? Venezuela at 404%. Egypt is at 35%, and that's what got me on this little rabbit trail.
Yeah.
And we're complaining because we had 9. Now, guess what our inflation rate is today?
3.
No, 2.9. It's
Oh
under
my
3.
gosh.
Under 3. You know, and we're jumping up and down because Biden got it. And it's not Biden. It's the economy. It's Ukraine. It's things settling down. So when we get rid of this war, and when food starts, when the grain starts, it's not really the grain though. That was a fear that drove up inflation, a lot of the war and stuff. But
Oil.
right. When we become together as a planet, we're not going to have this craziness and this out of control. These people have it better than these people. It's all going to be one global, like sharing stuff, but it's not there now. Earth changes and temperature changes. What do you see going on globally and maybe for the US? Are we still like in major?
Well, and listen, with these what we're going to have to do is probably go federal with homeowners insurance, because these, you know, as long as you don't ask to be covered with an actual event, they're fine. And then the minute people have to, like, they've cut California with fire insurance.
Right. Yep.
I have a small event in San Francisco. Normally I'd call my State Farm agent $50 for $1 million policy in a 6-hour event. And they refuse to cover me because they're not taking on it. It's like, really? Fortunately, I found, by the way, if you need event insurance, I have a place that my friend turned me on to. Good. They were $100, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
So, and then in Florida, they're just stopping. They're even stopping a lot of people. So this is now, as far as, you know, my first house, I don't know what you pay, but the interest, I think back in the day was between houses, I don't know which husband, 7 and 11%.
Yeah,
I got this house at 3.54%. And I will not move because there's no way I'm going to get that kind of interest rate. And there's no way I'm going to get insurance again.
yeah,
So
well,
I do see the housing market suffering.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
think,
coming up.
and it's interesting, and the reason the housing market's going to suffer is because the insurance companies, and that affects lenders, because a lender is not going to lend on a house that doesn't have insurance
Yeah, a whole bunch of sales that were supposed to happen fell through because of this.
because of that. So when you say the feds are going to take over, and all the people were going, saying we don't want government controlling business and life, but that's what's going on in Florida with their citizens insurance. That's a governmental insurance, and they're the only ones I think that are writing policies.
Wow.
And so then you look, you go, okay, where's the corruption down there with this citizens insurance?
Well,
I-
I got the bolt down underneath my house for my 20% off. And my State Farm earthquake insurance is $1,900 for the year. And I pay less than homeowners insurance
yeah.
for the year. And it
Wow.
keeps going up because they know an earthquake is coming.
Have they talked to you?
Who?
The insurance company to find out when the earthquake is coming?
No, they don't talk to me about that.
Well, they should.
I can really feel it right before it happens, but there's definitely something coming up. I'm not nervous here where I am. But then I've been through so many earthquakes. I really don't get afraid.
Yeah. The thing with earthquakes, I was through I lived through the Northridge.
Yes, I heard that was pretty significant.
That was,
Remember
so-
when that freeway collapsed and that poor motorcycle cop went right off?
right off. Yeah.
He didn't know that there was no road there.
Right. But yet the earthquake, you can live through the initial one, if you can live through the initial one, and then you go, okay, we're done. But then you're not done because all the aftershocks.
Oh yeah. Loma Prieta, I was shaking all the time.
Oh yeah, that was a horrible one.
When the freeway collapsed, I work at the hospital where they were bringing people from the freeway. Fortunately, the World Series was going on. That freeway would have been way more packed.
Oh yeah.
And one of our surgeons had to get inside a car and cut a woman in half to get her son out. And so he wouldn't let us have the TV on about her. He didn't want to know. He didn't want to.
Yeah.
It was traumatic.
It was awful. That's why it's really important to bring water with you when you're driving in your car.
Yeah.
Just to have a little emergency kit.
Yeah. I always have a liter of vodka in my trunk, rest to go with a straw.
Yeah. Because if you're going to be going, might as well be going drunk. All right.
It's just like this thing I have, my medical. On if something happens and I'm not with it or out of it, it says she's probably just shit-faced. I'm just joking.
That's funny. All right. Let's look at one more because we've got to go. So did you see anything? This is the last. I have one more after this. But do you see any earth changes that we need to be aware of, like East Coast? I mean,
It's happening now.
It's just
Are you
everywhere.
kidding?
It's just
I
everywhere.
mean, there's Armageddon, there's landslides in Southern California, and that's going to get worse. I see more rains coming in California, and let me tell you, Florida is with those ocean temps at 89. It's killing the life, the fishies in the water, and it's killing the coral. And they said if a storm comes over it, even a little hurricane, it's gonna boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mexico is supposed to have even hotter waters.
Yeah. Right.
And they're reminding people, and you guys remember, don't turn your faucet on and think you can spray the dog real quick, because it'll be boiling water. Let it run for a while.
Yeah. And so it's so important to take care of your pets. We were talking about the, people flocking down to Death Valley to experience 130-degree temperature. But even if you're at 100 and 105, if you take your dog out to walk on the pavement, it'll burn their
little
paws.
feetsies. Yeah.
Yeah. So
There was a
really
doctor, a doctor in LA that just was on the news. Was it LA? No, he was in Arizona. A guy passed out. He had a heat stroke. So they IV'd him. They put him in the ambulance. And when he got to the hospital, on his back was all kinds of 3rd-degree burns.
That's
California, because of the rains we had, you guys, we're not going to get the rolling blackouts, which is very interesting.
yeah.
Because we had so much water and snow, our hydro generators, all of them are up and running. Before they didn't because of the drought.
Yeah.
So they're still asking people to conserve, but still, we're going to be very comfortable here. We're very lucky right now.
Very lucky. And do you see big fires in California this year?
I'm feeling something coming up, but it feels more open space. But I see a fire happening. I don't know where this is. I don't know if it's California. I see that, and I think I've seen this before with me, kind of like, what was the name of that town that totally burnt down?
Paradise?
I'm seeing something like that again, where
Yeah.
there are houses involved, and it's just
Yeah.
like the news media is covering it. I don't think it's it feels like someplace, might even be in Arizona, where people are domesticated and it's just going house to house to house. It's going to be
Yeah.
one of those tragic events.
Well, you had one up near where you lived.
Let me tell you the story real quick. I was laying in my bed, 11 o'clock at night. We had just moved into this house. We were just getting comfy. And this is when my eldest son lived with me. And I get a ding ding on my phone, and I look, and it says emergency evacuation for Calistoga. So I thought they meant the town of Calistoga. I live near Calistoga. So I thought, well, that's weird. So because I'm so lazy, I texted Jacob and I said, do you think I should worry about this? He got up. I could hear him get up out of his bed, and he walked out to the front. He comes back in. He says, Mom, you need to see this. So I said, oh, okay. So I get up and I go out. Well, right away, my house didn't even shake, but the wind gusts were 70 miles an hour.
Oof.
And I didn't hear it. So we walked out to the street. And when we got in the street, we looked ahead. It was Fountain Grove, where a lot of people died in their beds because there was no, we didn't have any way of notifying people. And it was full flame. And we were getting embers this size falling on my roof. And it was, I said, you know what? The babies, Lulu and Jack were babies. I said, I'm going to pack up my car, get some dog food, get my photos and my paperwork. I didn't care about clothes. And then I had him pack some stuff and his brother in his car. The minute we said we need to pack and go, all the power went out.
Oh.
And then my ex-husband, Richard, who, as you know, was living here a little bit.
Yeah.
He put, what do you call those? A sprinkler on the roof. And he might have saved the house, because I'm telling you, those embers were this big, bright red.
Yeah.
And that the next day, even in San Francisco, they were getting embers.
Yeah. Crazy.
Go ahead.
The thing with emergencies and disasters is it's just not one thing. Like you were saying, you get the embers, but then the power goes out, and then something else happens. So it's one thing on top of another on top. I mean, when I was on a boat, when I was working on a boat, that was always the case. It's just
Yeah,
not one thing, it's multiple things on top of another. And a boat is just a little compact
right.
thing, and and so it's the same thing everywhere. You get multiple issues affecting the disaster.
And then even the Lakewood, the Lake County fires, the Petaluma have, no, Napa had a fire.
Napa,
And
yeah.
it was rolling blackouts. I got that generator. Let me tell you, it was $15,000, and it was the best thing I ever spent, because PG&E has had to do 2 outages here since I bought that, and it was seconds. I got a big one, so it
Yeah.
does the whole house. Boom. I mean, it'll shut down and then boom. My
Yeah.
TV, my internet, everything's going.
Yeah, good.
So it'll run the air conditioning even if you need.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you something that happened the other day. I hope you get a kick out of it. So the other day, I'm minding my own beeswax, and I was looking out my bedroom window that can look out on my driveway, and there's a schoolyard across from me. And I noticed PG&E coming up, and this guy.
Uh-oh. You hit your.
Sorry, my ring hit it. All these PG&E trucks, and then this rather good-looking PG&E guy comes walking down my driveway over to my side yard and squats. And he's talking on a phone and he's squatting. I thought, what's he going to do? Take a dump? What is he doing? So I'm standing there looking at him out my window, strategically placing my robe. The thing is that I couldn't strategically place it because my belly kept popping out. And so I'm thinking, what the hell? And then finally I kind of lost interest. And a bunch of guys were across the street and he's yelling at them. And I thought, well, whatever. Next thing you know, I get a knock on the door. It's that good looking guy. He says, I'm sorry to disturb you. I said, yes. He said, but we detected a smell. And I thought, oh, shoot, it's gas. I'm going to have to pack everybody up and get out of here because it scared me. My heart skipped a beat. He said, but we found the source. I called in our special unit. Apparently he had suffered some smell loss thanks to COVID.
Yeah.
Said I called a special unit in and they determined it was your garbage can. I said, oh, once a week, I have a fake yard in the background. Remember, I got that nice fake made for dogs.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to clean up the poop. And so once a week, I take the poop, I tie it, and I put it in that particular garbage can. Well, I can imagine with the heat, the smell's pretty bad.
Oh my God.
I think I'll double bag it from now on. And so my dogs are looking at them, wagging their tails. I said, you see these 2 little angels right here? That's their smell. That's what you're smelling, is the dog poop in the can. Oh my God.
You're gonna get a special bill from PG&E.
Oh, my sister said, oh God, thank God they didn't call in the news media, right? I'd have been out there. Yeah, it's my doggy poo poo. If I'd been in a bad mood, I might have said, did you smell your upper lip? What the hell do you think is going on? But can you imagine all that commotion over a garbage can with dog poop in it?
Dog poop.
But these 2 little angels, sir, these are
What do you feed your dogs?
They get a special diet of a dog food prescribed by the doctor.
Okay.
And green beans. Somebody told me if you, like, I take 1 can of green beans and divide it amongst the 2 of them. Dan, my friend Dan, he's doing it now with his dog. He loves it. And then I get a small, like 4-ounce can of chicken and divide it between the 2 of them. So the total calories is like 60 calories. And the doctor said the dog food is basically nothing. Yeah. But they take nice big hearty. They used to have diarrhea a lot. And I think it's because I was feeding them table food.
Yeah, right.
Because I found out I can't give them steak. As much as you want a dog so happy.
Yeah.
You give them beef, oh God, they get sick.
Yeah, mine too. And Jolene, she'll do all her she makes dog food. It's so easy to make.
Yeah.
versus buying the dry stuff.
Oh,
So,
mine is like $100 a bag,
oh,
but it's a huge bag and it
Yeah.
lasts, for some time. I'm on Chewy. And
okay, yeah,
it
yeah,
has to be prescription and they send it every other month or something like that.
okay, okay. Yeah, we're not doing any dry food, but
They say
far-
dry food all the time isn't good for a dog.
yeah,
So that's why I'm glad I add that moist green beans. And then I use that chicken juice to kind of give it, they say add a little broth or something to it.
sure, sure. Ooh,
How old is your dog now?
14,
Oh,
14. Yeah,
yeah. Lulu lost a whole bunch of weight. The doctor's like, whoa, but Jack's not losing weight and he's eating the same exact thing. So that's weird.
oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, keep an eye out.
I will. Well, I've been eating and I didn't drop a pound. I'm telling you, I'm really pissed off right now.
Jeez.
I eat the same
Maybe-
damn food the dogs eat and I didn't drop 1 pound.
Well, maybe lay off the dry food and just do,
The green beans and the chicken.
yeah. All right, Linda,
Oh, honey,
thank you so much. What a joy. It's been a
Now you
pleasure.
gotta be on my show next. I've been on your show twice. You gotta be on my show next.
Okay. All right, all right. Anytime.
All right, honey.
Thank you.
You're
all
one of my favorites to hang out with.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And you
And
too.
thank you guys. Say prayers for Andre's mother.
Yes.
And
And
thank you for the prayers for Mel. He's feeling so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. And prayers to Tanya too. She's doing great.
Oh, you know what? I found her site. I donated, but I never saw what was going on with her.
She's down in Florida. I mean, and she did a video afterwards that is.
That's the one
horrific.
I saw. Her, she was all beat up.
Yeah. So she was riding her bike and some guy just attacked her and put her in the hospital.
He
Um,
got arrested.
Yeah, she got her bike back. I don't know if I want the bike back, but she got the bike back. She was talking about her hospital stay, and she probably was like, she goes, I don't know what she said, but they put her under suicide watch. And she goes, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. And they dragged her out of the bed and threw her on the ground, and she's naked and they're poking at her and almost breaking her arm. And she's telling this story on YouTube. And it was horrific. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe she was in the hospital and it was worse. It felt like than being on the street.
It doesn't make any sense. So what
doesn't
happened?
make any sense. I don't know. It felt like that when she said, I don't know why I should be living, they took it as she was going to kill herself. And so I don't understand it. I couldn't, it was so horrific. I couldn't listen to it. So I fast forward through the video.
Did she get it on video at all or no?
And I don't know. But people were saying you should probably
Talk
look
to an
into this and
attorney.
talk to an attorney about this. Yeah, it was. The thing about this with her is her positive attitude throughout the whole thing. I mean, the woman is such a light. She's so amazing.
Listen, she could be doing videos at her poolside in her new house thanks to the lawsuit against that hospital.
Yeah, right.
That was abusive. As a nurse, unless you're 50, did they 5150 her or do you know?
I don't know.
You can refuse anything and they can't be touching you, manhandling you like that.
Yeah.
So she's got a lawsuit.
She had some security people coming up and she's going, please help me, please help me. And finally a nurse came in and goes, what the hell's going on? And she goes, don't worry, honey. I'm coming right back. I'm bringing a doctor. And the doctor came in and goes, what are you doing? She's fine. And they put her back in bed again. And I mean, she was on the floor.
Oh, that means the nurse and the doctor had to write that down in the chart.
Yeah.
What they saw.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got a lawsuit going there.
Yeah. Well,
An incident report was probably filled out.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, mhm.
Yeah, we'll be
Anyway.
getting videos of her in her new house in Palm Springs. Well, I'm glad she's doing good.
Yeah, yeah. So,
People were asking me to do, can you open a GoFundMe? No offense, but I didn't even know who she was. I had not yet had the privilege of watching her show.
right.
And I always repost a GoFundMe. I don't even know how to do a GoFundMe.
Right.
I just post what somebody else has done, like for
Yeah.
my nephew.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, her brother-in-law did the GoFundMe and I reposted it.
Right.
I guess
Right.
they think I'm the GoFundMe person.
Well, you know, yeah. And let me just tell people out there, Linda's not the GoFundMe person, and she's not the person to ask for lottery numbers.
And boy, I can tell you're disappointed.
I am.
I tried back in the 80s or 90s to concentrate and I never got numbers. I never got them. They don't let me.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
all right.
thank you.
Thank you
sweetheart.
again, Linda.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Bye-bye.